All right, guys, this is just a fun little project I saw via Twitter, and I wanted to do a video on it, kind of a simulation, alternate history for March Madness in the 2023 season. Apparently, there is like an account that simulates the entire college basketball season, and it's the same exact players, but there's going to be different results, of course, because it is kind of random. The good teams normally will stay relatively good, but there's going to be some differences, and this is just the first round of a potential alternate history simulation of March Madness for 2023. Now, I got to be honest, I'm really impressed with the look of these graphics. It looks like CBS. Actually, maybe looks a little bit better than CBS, but we're going to be going through that. And then when it comes to my official bracket, it is totally out of control right now. I've recently checked, ESPN updated. Now I'm in the 102nd percentile. So I have just extended my lead. It's crazy what's going on with that. So I'll be updating that tomorrow. But let's go through the entire first round and kind of just have some fun with this alternate history. So you can take a look at the last four teams in the tournament. In this 2023 simulation, Xavier makes it at 22-11, so a lot worse. Dayton gets in. They're one of the last teams in. Wichita State and Michigan State at 18-15. They get in. I'm not sure what the SAT rating is. I'm guessing it's just a different version of net. I'm guessing that's what it is. But first four out, Arkansas, we'll see you in the NIT. West Virginia, both of those teams made the tournament in real life. Tulane. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen Tulane in. And then Illinois. They also made the tournament in real life. Looking at the regions, you've got games in New York City, the East region. UConn, the number one overall seed, taking on Eastern Illinois, making it as the 16. Oklahoma State, Colorado State in an 8v9 matchup. Indiana, a 5 seed, taking on George Mason, who is the 12, looking for the upset. Tennessee is a 4 seed. They're also a 4 seed in real life, taking on the 13 seed Iona. Was Iona a 13 or 14? Oh, they were a 13 seed as well, so both the same there. Missouri, a 6 seed, taking on either Xavier or Dayton. That's a rivalry game in the first four. North Carolina taking on Montana State in a 3v14, so there's North Carolina. Very, very bad season in real life. In the simulation, maybe even a little bit underwhelming in that, because they were the number one team preseason. They're a 3 seed. Then you have Texas taking on New Mexico. So New Mexico makes the tournament here at 22-13. Wow. And then Houston. And how about Long Beach State, the auto bid? So Houston's a 2 seed, and then Long Beach State, I thought they were going to make the tournament in real life. They ended up losing in the first round. Next, you've got Kansas. They're a 1 seed, taking on either Norfolk State or Southern. Stanford making the tournament at 20-13 in the Pac-12. That's surprising. Maybe they won the Pac-12 championship. They're taking on Penn State. I'm guessing Penn State will win that game. Memphis, the 5 seed, taking on Southern Miss, the 12. Virginia Tech, 4 seed, taking on Detroit, the 13 out of the Horizon. UCLA is a 6 seed, so they're down in this, taking on Charleston, who's actually bumped up 1 seed line, according to this, at the 11 seed. This is the Kansas City region, the Midwest region. You've got San Diego State, a 3 seed. So really, really good season for San Diego State, taking on American, looking for an upset. I think, you know what? I think American pulls off the upset there. Marquette, they're down at a 7 seed, taking on USC, and then Gonzaga up to a 2 seed. They're taking on Vermont, who is also a 15 seed in real life. You've got the South region. So Alabama, just like real life, they're the number 1 seed in the South region. This region in Louisville, you have them taking on Gardner-Webb, the 16 seed. The number 8 seed, Virginia, that's what they should have been in real life, taking on Duquesne in an 8v9 matchup. You have Creighton taking on either Wichita State or Michigan State. Iowa gets Buffalo, the 13 seed, trying to pull off the upset, so Iowa's a 4. Boise State is a 6 in this, taking on Chattanooga, who's listed as an 11 seed. Baylor and Wagner in a 3v14 matchup. So Baylor a 3 seed here, a 3 seed in real life. Michigan makes the tournament as a 7 seed. They were in the NIT. And then Nevada in as a 10 seed. How about St. Mary's, a 2 seed at 30-3? Wow. What a season for them. Eastern Kentucky, they get them. Eastern Kentucky is a 15 seed there. Moving on to the West region, you've got Arizona taking on either Northwestern State or Brown University, the 16 seed. St. Louis faces Miami in an 8v9 game. Kansas State's down to a 5 seed in this. They're a 3 seed in real life. They will be taking on 12 seed Florida Atlantic. Duke listed as a 4 seed taking on Missouri State. Utah State, the 6 seed, takes on Ohio State, who makes the tournament as an 11 seed, 18-14 on the year. You've got Kentucky taking on Southern Utah. NC State taking on Arizona State. And Purdue, the 2 seed, they get Oral Roberts, who gets in as a 15 seed. That is the West region in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then you can see the first 4 games. Northwestern State takes on Brown in a 16v16 matchup. Winner gets Arizona. Wichita State and Michigan State face each other. Winner will face the 5 seed Creighton. Norfolk State and Southern in a 16v16 matchup. Winner faces Kansas. And then Xavier and Dayton in an 11v11 matchup. Winner gets Missouri. Getting to the first 4 results, how about Norfolk State with a statement win over Southern? 80-60, so they will move on. And you know what? You got to watch out in these 16v1 upsets. You never know. That's a Norfolk State team with a lot of momentum. Michigan State trounces Wichita State 95-67. Tyson Walker, 27 points. MSU moves on to the round of 64. Northwestern State, they want to face Northwestern. That's a huge rivalry game. Northwestern State versus Northwestern, but actually, I don't even think Northwestern made this tournament. They end up beating Brown. So Brown is out, and the Ivy League must have been horrible this year because Brown was a 16 seed in the play-in. And then the final play-in game, the rivalry in Ohio, you've got Dayton beating Xavier in a low-scoring game. So Xavier, in real life, they were a higher 3 seed. Now they are out of the tournament in this simulation as an 11 seed. Let's get to the round of 64. The first game, Ohio State pulls off the upset over Utah State, 86-71. Bryce Sensabaugh, the true freshman, 27.7 rebounds. Really nice game from him. And how about this? Utah State and the Mountain West once again struggling. Even in the simulation, the AI knows the Mountain West sucks in terms of the tournament. Next, you have Buffalo pulling off a major upset over Iowa. Iowa just struggling on defense. Buffalo from the MAC will be advancing as a potential Cinderella, 91-85 in a higher scoring game. Miami of Florida beats St. Louis 78-70. So Miami, that, you know what, they just have so much success in March no matter what. Last year they make the Elite Eight. Now they're doing well in real life. And in this simulation, they win that game. They're advancing. Alabama destroys Gardner-Webb, 84-49. Brandon Miller goes for 30 points. That's 30 more points than he had in the first round of real life. So they end up crushing Gardner-Webb, the 16 seed, and they will be advancing. You've got Kentucky destroying Southern Utah. That's a statement by Kentucky there. Carson Wallace, 22-7-6 for the true freshman. They advance to the second round. Creighton wins in overtime. They survive against Michigan State. That's a big win in a potential 12v5 upset. Creighton starts off their tournament right. They will be advancing. You have Arizona, the 1 seed from the West region, destroying Northwestern State 103-60. Not close, of course, Arizona. They could have used that performance against Princeton in real life. We understand that. You have Virginia beating Duquesne by 1 point, 64-63. That seems about right. 8v9 game. They will be advancing there. Indiana wins in... So Indiana was in a 4v13 matchup. They won against Kent State in real life. Now they crush George Mason And Trace Jackson Davis goes for 27 and 12. That's a big-time start for Indiana in their tournament hopes. The 2-seed St. Mary's, a little bit of a scare. They win by 10 against Eastern Kentucky. They improved to 31 and 3 on the season, and they advance in the South region. The 5-seed Memphis beats Southern Miss by 9 points. Memphis will be advancing in the simulation to the second round. UCLA, listed as a 6th seed, they crushed Charleston, the 11 seed. So Charleston, no luck in real life, no luck in the simulation. They lose handily to UCLA. Tennessee, the 4 seed, beats Iona by 12. Iona, they lost in the real life and they lose in the simulation. Tennessee will be advancing. Nevada, the 10 seed, upsets Michigan, the 7, although it's really not much of an upset. They win that game 67-64 there. Next, we've got Virginia Tech crushing Detroit. That's a statement game for Virginia Tech, the 4 seed, sitting at 26 and 9. They win that one by 23 points. San Diego State annihilates American, and you got to feel bad for American with this result. 91-45. Very easy win for San Diego State. Not an offensive team, but they drop a 90-burger there. North Carolina wins by 11 against Montana State. So Montana State, they were a 14 seed in real life. They're a 14 seed here. They lose by virtually the same. I think they lost by 12 to Kansas State in real life. Now they lose by 11 to North Carolina. Texas beats New Mexico by 1 point. So Texas, the 7 seed, advances on to the second round. Next, you've got Oklahoma State, the 8 seed, crushing Colorado State 73-53. That is a disappointing performance by Colorado State in an 8v9 game there. No offense for them. Gonzaga annihilates Vermont in a 2v15 matchup, 94-56. Not a close game. Baylor easily beats Wagner, 83-62 there. A 21-point win for the 3 seed Baylor. They will be advancing. Kansas survives an upset bid in a 16v1 game against Norfolk State. They win by 3 points. Wow, this simulation is on par because the simulation can tell you if Bill Self is not there, it senses it and it knows, and that's why this game was close. So, very close game there. Norfolk State almost pulls off the upset. Next, you've got NC State, the 7 seed, crushing Arizona State by 19 points. Arizona State out of the tournament. Kansas State, the 5 seed, beats FAU by 2. So the 5 seed survives an upset there. Kansas State advancing to the second round. Boise State beats Chattanooga by 5. They will be advancing to the second round. Houston easily dispatches Long Beach State, so Houston wins by 18. They use that defense. Long Beach State can't even get to 60 points. And Houston, the 2 seed, will be advancing. Marquette beats USC 89-67. They win that game by 22. The 7 seed, that's an impressive win there. You have the 1 seed, UConn, beating Eastern Illinois 83-52. They will be advancing. You've got Dayton, the 11 seed, upsetting Missouri 90-82 in a higher scoring game. Dayton, from the first 4, will be advancing to the round of 32. Penn State, the 9 seed, beats Stanford 84-78. So, kind of surprised Stanford was an 8 seed at 20-14. But Jalen Pickett goes off for 28, 7, and 9. That is an elite performance in the tournament. Next, you have Duke beating Missouri State by 18. So the 4 seed Duke holds serve. Kyle Flapowski goes for 17, 13, and a win there for the true freshman. And then the final game of round 1, you had Purdue dispatching of Oral Roberts in a higher scoring game. Purdue dropping 100. Zach Edey going for 30 and 20 in the win. Of course, I'm sure Purdue would take that in real life. They did not get that. So that is the official round 1 update. Just something fun I want to do. And we will see who wins in this simulation when it gets updated, because I think it gets updated around the same time the games do. So I think the second round's going to be over by Sunday, and then I'll probably do another video then. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.